Hey, it's live. Thanks for rewatching it, not live. Joining me and you and yourself and I. Bipolar blows. Pick and choose, win or lose. Who are you gonna sing the blues with? Bipolar Dynamics. Dynamic. Excuse me. Dynamic. The word dynamic means constantly changing, growing, or full of energy. This is the Cambridge Dictionary. Cambridge Dictionary. It's the opposite of static, fixed. It can describe a person, a process, or a system that adapts over time, like bipolar. A system that adapts over time. A person that adapts over time. And it is used across different fields like science, technology, and music. And dynamics is the plural definition. And this means the forces, the energies, or rules that cause movement, change. Okay, that's not whatever. Or growth in a system, growth in bipolar. Also, it's Cambridge Dictionary. No. How was your weekend? Okay, great. Yeah, the dynamics of bipolar. So, where do thoughts come from? Where do thoughts come from? That voice inside your head when you're reading a book or reading anything to yourself in your mind. Whose voice is that? What voice is that? Whose thoughts? What thoughts? Where'd they come from? So the the dynamic. This is a tough one. Wow. Good morning, Monday. So the reason why I have said so many times on this channel, YouTube thing, that I feel like, is it raining again? Damn, can you hear the rain through the microphone? I love the sound of rain when you're inside. Let's do a rain cast. So anyway, when I say that I don't have bipolar, or I'm not accepting of it, or I'm in denial. I think that the doctors don't know shit, or I'm in full 100% control. All of that. It's not nonsense. It is what it is. If you're able to close your eyes and imagine yourself, you living in the past or in the future, unknown, whatever, and there is no people being diagnosed because it's just something else, right? Like imagine you're a knight with the legendary King Arthur, since we're doing Cambridge Dictionary, and you got bipolar. They wouldn't. Oh, there's fucking Knight Mikey with his bipolar and his sword and his lance and his. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't say that. We think they would. I think they wouldn't use it. We don't have, but they would treat someone of bipolar back then the same way they hopefully being treated now. And I don't mean with medication. I mean, I mean I don't know. The dynamic, the dynamic of seeing the same person, interacting with the same person, and not knowing they're sick, an illness, a disease, whatever, and then watching that person, forces, energies, rules that cause movement change or growth in a system, and watch them. Okay, you're a horrible Knight. Why? Because they got bipolar. And then now you're a better Knight, but you still have the bipolar. I don't know if I'm making sense. This is really hard because it's so okay, here we go. Before my diagnosis, the dynamic of bipolar was 0. I didn't have dynamics or I wasn't diagnosed. Not to say that I have it because of that. Another person had to come and look and go, I believe you have bipolar. Take this. Trial and error. I was a guinea pig for like 2 years with medication. So try this, try that, try this, try that. So would it still be, would I still be in the same situation that I'm in today right now without my diagnosis? And that dynamic, we can all answer if you're asking yourself the same question. We will never know. We will never know. The only way to know that is to be God and time travel and go back and say no to whatever got me the diagnosis and medication and just continue to be myself. Then here, the multiverse fucking bullshit stuff you're talking about. Time travel is real, bro. Stuff like that. So hot coffee. So, speaking of coffee, I'm quitting coffee. I'm only going to do coffee when I'm on camera now. This show, the Fika Friedrich show, I've given up from the top. I did 100 from the tops. I'm done. I'm done with that. That is just too much energy and editing. And as fun as it was, done with that. And then, of course, full moon. It's easy. You just have to be patient till that moon comes out and makes an appearance, and it's there in the daytime. Anyway, the dynamic that I'm in now is growth and looking at multiple levels of, in my mind, what is the second person, the third person, the fourth person, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, all the way up to the ninth, if I can get there, in the situation that I'm in, that I'm facing day to day. It changes all the time. I didn't realize how challenging dynamics and bipolar would be, right? Because bipolar has a dynamic already. You've got your up and down, your back and forth, your side to side, right? You've already got, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? And here in Sweden, it's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, right? So it could be, so the already personality that the doctors would like to excuse me, I don't get it. Like, who do you want me to be? They want you to be yourself. Okay, I'm myself. You have bipolar. Okay, I myself with bipolar. Now what? What is being myself now? Does that change anything now that I have this diagnosis? Does that uh, force me, because that's what dynamics is. The etymology comes from the Greek term meaning force or power. So um, that's what I was asking. Where do your thoughts come from? Where does the motivation come from? I mean, like how long do you lie in bed when you get to sleep in on your day off? You're doom scrolling or just lying there. Just like, man, and you look at the clock, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I should get up. And then you talk to yourself and you don't get out of bed till 11:30 or something, or the next time you go to the bathroom or something like that. What is that driving force? What is the driving force that's reversed that's keeping you in bed? Is it that you just spent 40, 60 hours working overtime shifts, doing a bunch of bullshit you don't want to do for a bunch of people that don't want you to do it? Really? So my dynamic now is, one dynamic is take the medication or don't. Um, take the medication, and the idea behind that is go along to get along. Um, you won't have any episodes. You won't freak the fuck out. You won't be in a manic state. You'll be in a depressive state. You'll just be borderline right there, just base, solid, And right now it's fine. It's weird. So lithium, at least for me, I don't gain weight. I don't sweat. You see those people who have something, ADD, ADHD, OCD, PCOS, who could care less, something like that, and they take a medication, a pill, and within 20 minutes they're sweating like they're the fucking Pacific Ocean. Like what? And they're just sitting still. Like what? Like it's the medication. So I don't gain weight. I don't sweat. I don't feel irritable. Um, my bowel movements are solid. Um, my diet is getting better and better. I'm gonna quit coffee now. It's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a production thing, and it's also gonna be I will do it if someone else is there with me. For example, a fika on like a Sunday, a pecan pie, a coffee, and a conversation. Okay, then that's fine. But the everyday thing, every morning, 2, 3, 4 cups. I'm giving it up. I'm giving it up. I'm giving up. It's a tough, hard decision because I know if I can. I know I can discipline myself with the dynamics. I can go, okay, there's this coffee and there's this no coffee. And what is coffee? It's caffeine. What is this? I love it. It's a drink. It's going to keep me awake, though. And keeping me awake in bipolar is bad because the less I sleep, the more it kicks in to overdrive, even with the lithium. I have had one small hiccup. This was a while ago now. It was when I first was on lithium. I had thought that lithium was going to help me sleep in the beginning. It's not that it doesn't help me sleep and it keep me awake type thing. It just whatever it does, it's an overall positive. It could be placebo. It could be placebo. It just keeps the baseline there. Arguments have gotten less. I'm not saying that, oh, I take lithium and I argue less. It's the rehab of all the doctors I'm seeing, psychiatrists, psychologists, that stuff, and tied with the lithium and sleeping well. I gotta let the caffeine go. I gotta let the coffee go. And there's caffeine in chocolate, and I love chocolate. I got a sweet tooth, so if I really need it, I'll get some nice chocolate, suck that down, and then go to bed. I'd rather go to bed with chocolate in my belly, not caffeine in my belly, with coffee in my belly. Excuse me. So, and I've done it before. I've gone coffee free for like 3 months here and there, and I felt good. And um, I remember the first time I tried getting rid of coffee, I had a headache that whole day. Like, this is it, cold turkey, here we go, day one. And within, I mean, right around lunch, after my body was like, are we not getting caffeine? It was just immediate headache. And I had to call up a friend. I'm like, yo, I got this headache, and the only thing I'm doing is saying no to coffee. And she said, have a sip of coffee, your headache will go away. And sure enough, my headache went away. And then I had to wait a second day, and then so they go. So there was like caffeine withdrawal with the headaches or something like this. Weird. It was very weird. So I'm just gonna say no to that dynamic and see what happens. That force that I really believe too that we don't need anything but ourselves to fix our life. We don't need any outside power. You don't need me. You don't need to watch this. Leave, hang up, click it, goodbye. See you when I see you. I don't need you. I don't. You only need yourself. Now, I know the religious people are going to come in here and say, you need Jesus, you need God, you need Allah, you need Mary, you need Odin and Thor and Ra. To each and every individual their own, whatever floats your boat. I believe and feel that I have the power. I might not have the knowledge yet, but I have the power. I have the discipline. I have the determination, the desire, the want, the need, the drive, the motivation to get the dynamic of my bipolar being to, I really want to say something that's, I mean, its exact definition changes depending on whether you use it in physics, social situations, or music. I really want to get it's funny, the only really thing I can really compare it to is Jesus fucking Christ. And speaking of that, is this funny? Because I'm going up on a show. I got a show in September. I think I got a spot. I should say another show. I'm in the show, but it's a spot. Is this? Let me know. Laugh if you think this is funny. Back in the day, Jesus was like 10, 11 years old. He was on summer vacation, and he was chilling. But he had his chores he had to do, and his mother Mary came and said, Jesus Christ, clean your room. I think that's going to be a funny one. I told it to my 17-year-old son last night, and he almost spit out his food. So, and then I told it to another friend here, and he told him to expound on that. And he said, you should do that. You could do your whole spot should be just on Jesus on that. Like, who is it? It's me, Jesus. Who? Jesus. Who? Jesus Christ is at the door. Oh, it's Jesus. Let him in. Open the door. Right? You could. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I feel confident. I feel comfortable. I know Jesus. I love him. So it's all good. I've asked. Also, it's very weird how recently the MPAA has rescinded the swear word Jesus Christ. He is not a swear word anymore. That's right. You can just say it like love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Jesus Christ. I stubbed my toe. Jesus Christ. Somebody cut me off. Jesus Christ. No, it's not a swear word anymore. So, I mean, you'll see on here, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Pinterest, X, Twitter, Vimeo, Rumble, ones that are in different languages in different countries. So the Russian YouTube and Brazilian YouTube and, you know, all that stuff, whatever they are. Maybe not those. Actually, I haven't researched those. But the big ones, when you watch a video and the person is fucking swearing and saying Jesus Christ and the word sex is sugs or it's just blacked out, fuck would be blacked out, censored, edited. Maybe you don't hear it on the voice, the sound. But Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ. It's acceptable everywhere now. It's weird. I've been researching it. I think it's weird, but I think it's, can't figure out why. Why is sex censored? We all come from sex. Mom and dad fucked, and now we're here. Period. I get why fuck would be censored, but not sex. Penis is censored. But dick and balls, I don't know about that 100%. Penis is the scientific term. Why is that censored? So, Jesus Christ now being uncensored. It's weird. And it's true, the Coca-Cola, make your own Coca-Cola bottle, make your own Coca-Cola can, design your own Coke. There's a website, just punch it in Google, design your own Coca-Cola, enter, it'll take you to the website. I say, okay, go ahead. I thought it was a scam. I looked into it. It's true. You can put on your, right here, check it out. GMI, Clear Gear Manufacturing Incorporated. Marcos Aguilar. This is my dad's Yeti. He doesn't use Yetis, so I just stole it. Thanks, Dad. Took it, whatever. Coca-Cola. You can make your own Coca-Cola. And you can put, I don't want to put Marcos Aguilar. I want to put Jesus Christ. Guess what you can't put on the Coke bottle? Jesus Christ. That's right. And I'll say the reason why you can't put it there. It'll say something like, I forget what it is exactly, but it says, pocket, real time. Make your own Coca-Cola can. Personalized, that's what the word is. Personalized 12 fluid ounce Coca-Cola can. You go there, coca-colastore.com/personalized-can. Unlock 15% on your next order. Original taste. Personalized bottles and cans. What song? Bottles and cans. Just clap your hands. Just clap your hands. Huh. I got 2 turntables on a microphone. Where it's at? I got 2 turntables on a microphone. Who sings that song? Me. No, it was back. Anyway, wait. Okay, come on, dude. Can we get the fucking out of? I don't care. It's out of stock. Share a Coke personalized. See, oh my gosh, this is blowing up. Personalize a bottle. Can I do that now? All our bottles are out of stock. I still want to be able to personalize it. I don't. Here's one that says, Jerry's turning 40 again. Funny. See, you can personalize. You can personalize these orders. Anyway, oh, you fuck. This is ridiculous. Why do they do? I don't. How does that make out of stock? How does it make sense that I got a t-shirt store, and even when my t-shirts are out of stock, I can still take the orders. My customers can still design their t-shirts, their own t-shirts if they want to. They can change the colors, they can change the print patterns, they can change the font, they can do whatever they want with the shirt. They can make it their fucking own, except for the actual design that I come up with. For example, one thing I did recently was I put a hand, the outline of a hand on the front of the t-shirt, and then I put inside that hand a bunch of different languages, different countries on how to say hi, hey, hola, konnichiwa, all the different, ni hao, all that inside the fingers and the hands and everything. And if you wanted to, you could, well, I don't like the black and white, I want the red and blue, and change it, even though it's out of stock. These motherfuckers, Coca-Cola, we're all out of stock, we're out of stock, we're out of stock. So I was there a couple of days ago checking it out, and I'm not kidding. You could put Lucifer is amazing. You could put that on the can, and they'll ship it to you. Hitler's the best, and they'll put it on the can, and they'll ship it to you. Genghis Khan is my man, and they'll ship it to you. Jesus Christ is the man. Sorry, we can't print that for you because, and it said something about, that's what I wanted to get was the reason why, but it was said something about names and people and historical figures, and it gave this nonsense excuse as to why you can't put Jesus on the can, which would also make sense if you couldn't put Hitler or Stalin on the can either. Biblically, let's stick to the Bible here. You put Abel was a bitch, right? Cain killed Abel. They should say no, you can't do that. No, that you can't. No, but it's all good. I worship Satan. It's good to go. I was putting everything into this thing. Like I could order cans and say I worship Satan, and you could look at my Coke, man. I worship Satan. Oh, cool, bro. But if you get a Coke can that says Jesus Christ is King, God forbid. No, Coca-Cola forbid. So yeah, it's weird. But now personalized cans are out of stock. Personalized bottles are out of stock. I can't even. I was gonna move the camera and show you what it would look like, and then show you with a disclaimer, sorry, we can't do this. Remember that Ashton Kutcher hat he wore years ago, said Jesus is my homeboy, and that took off? Remember that? Like in the when was that? Early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, something like that? Jesus is my homeboy. Jesus is my homeboy. Remember that? Not a Coke. I was going to put Hitler as my homeboy. And Coke said, sure, $20. We'll send you a case. No problem. So, gosh, I want to get to come on. Shop all personalized bottles and cans. Oh, it's all personalized. Yeah, it's other people's personal stuff, whatever. Just happy birthday. No, out of stock. Like, what the I'm not buying out of stock. I'm not. I think this thing has blown up in their face. A lot of people were posting, look at this Coke thing, look at this Coke thing. And I think there's still enough people in the world to where if somebody was to really put like a fucking, something just so asinine. I drink baby blood. Coca-Cola across that. I think people would be like, hey, wait a minute. You can't do that. You can. Freedom, sure. Freedom, yeah, sure. But that just a little too far. Little too far, right? KKK is the way today. Like, nope. No. So what a tangent. So the dynamics, the medication, um, the word itself, dynamic, the singularity, is constantly changing, growing, or full of energy. When you're manic, I am full of energy. You're always, full of energy is that semantics. Like you wake up on a Monday morning like today and you're like, oh, fucking, but you're awake and you got energy and you got to do what you got to do and you get to do what you do and you're going to do what you're going to do regardless. There's things that you absolutely have to do to survive and you're going to do those things with energy. You can be lethargic, but even lethargic people have energy. They might not have energy to run a marathon, but they have energy. So full of energy, I think, is that up state, marathon state. It stopped raining, and now the cars are being annoying. But it was nice. So the dynamic is well, it's always there. Even if I didn't have bipolar, there would still be a dynamic in my life. I was talking to a friend this morning before this, and we were going back and forth about, I'm 44 and he's a bit older, and we were just talking about the dynamic, what's the opposite of a crisis? Because even though I'm in some areas of my life right now are in a tough, tight, I don't like that word. I don't like that word either. Tough, tight, wound, downtrodden place. There's still a lot of growth. There's still a lot of blessings, and there's still a lot of opportunity. And I told him, I said, I don't think I'm in I think midlife crisis, that was the term we were talking about. I think midlife crisis, midlife crises, I think a midlife crisis, that term, midlife crisis, I think that came to us to hijack what is actually going on with midlife crisis. Also, when you think about it, still sticking with the Bible, remember Methuselah lived to be, what did Methuselah was what, like 100? No, 900? How old was Methuselah? Methuselah had a son, Lamech, when Methuselah was 187 years old. According to the book of Genesis, Methuselah lived to be 969 years old. Could you imagine being 430, whatever? Could you imagine being 500? What's up, Methuselah? I get my midlife crisis going on. It's all right, man. You'll be at 1,000 soon enough. So I think midlife crisis was hijacked there. I don't know. I could live to be 150. You never know. So it's not a midlife crisis. It's a midlife, whatever the opposite is. And the opposite we found was of a crisis there's really no opposite of a crisis. It's was peace, calmness, tranquility. There was a couple other words in there. They didn't really, a crisis is a situation that's going on, emergency, dire straits. The opposite of that is a situation that's going on that's what? So I said that is what's going on. It looks, it can feel, it can be, it can sound like I'm in that midlife crisis. But I feel that I am the caterpillar getting ready to cocoon and then turn into a butterfly and spread my wings. That is slowly going on. And yeah, I want it to happen yesterday, but life and the cocoon, the caterpillar, doesn't happen overnight, right? Caterpillar eats all his leaves and then just hangs there for, I mean, how many caterpillars hang there and die? The wind, the rain, the storms, people, kids, children, adults, walkers, hikers, animals, whatever, like just they're dead now. They didn't even make it to the butterfly stage. So I think that's my dynamic, which is changing and growing. And it takes energy to do that. And gosh, it's so funny. I tell people all the time, anytime there is a scuffle, an argument, whatever, I always say, well, I'm bipolar. What's your excuse? Right? So what is the normal person's excuse? Why are you behaving this way, normal person? Why are you mad, normal person? Why are you yelling, normal person? Why aren't you accepting of anything and everything? From the sexual community, the political community, the climate community, the person community. Why are you just, what kind of normal person does that? Normal people don't do that. Sick people do that. Messed up people do that. Right? Bruised people, traumatized people. Right? My brother a long time ago worked as a caretaker for an autistic human being, and one specific, non-specific story I can share is my brother was working and went with this autistic human being out to town. What do I want to do? I want to go to the library. I want to go to the park. I want to go to wherever. So they went. My brother did his job. What a heart he has. And he man, I tell you, if this was one-on-one and the camera was off, it would be such a fast conversation because I could say anything and everything and say the truth. Well, I'm saying the truth, but I could name the, I could tell the story like my brother can tell the story because it's first person. So me as third person, I wasn't even there. I came home. I can't remember if I was already living over here in Sweden or had my own place and went to my dad's, and my brother was there, and I said, hey, what's up? And he told me this happened today. Or I flew back and visited, and he said, oh yeah, this happened the other day. Either way, he takes this autistic human being and they go to the grocery store, and this autistic human being has to go to the bathroom all of a sudden. And my brother's like, okay, there's a bathroom right here. And he goes in the bathroom and locks the door. And my brother's on the other side. And within seconds, immediately, you just hear screams. Just horrendous screams. My brother's like, when my brother tells a story, he has tears in his eyes. Screams. This autistic human being was screaming, get out of my head. This autistic human being also had, I think, another possible diagnosis here or there, get out of my head. I don't like the sound of you. I hate you. Fucking, like all of that nasty, just sad, human situations. And my brother relates a story that everybody stopped in the grocery store. They all stopped and looked, and my brother had to go, "It's okay, I'm the caretaker. I'm working with so-and-so company, and I'm his caretaker, and here's my IDs and my cards, and this, he's fine, she's fine, it's fine, they are fine, whatever, this autistic human being is fine." And it's okay. I'll know when to like help unlock the door type thing. It's an emergency, but it's not an emergency. So, of course, they were panicked and freaked out. Should we call the police? Should we call the ambulance, the doctor, something like that? Hold on, just wait. So it went on. It went on for some time. I remember just being shocked listening to my brother tell me the story. It went on for some time, and then it was quiet. It was quiet. My brother knocked on the door. Is everything okay in there? And this autistic human being said, like, I'll be right out or something. Just heard the toilet flush, washing the hands, and then opened the door and was, okay, let's go shopping. And that it's those things. It's those things where I then look at myself. It's those stories, and I compare myself, and I think, well, I'm not that bad. But then I also still go, well, we're both not normal either. What is normal? Would a normal person do that? And why did I talk about this today? The dynamic. It's easier to talk about the dynamic of a relationship. You're either have a significant other, a partner, a lover, a spouse, or you don't. Yeah. I got lost. Jesus Christ, I got lost. So, I think the dynamic is best summed up with the dog story, the dog fighters. I forget the story, so it's gonna be, there's an owner and he has two dogs, and he takes these two dogs to the dog fights, and every other week one dog fights and one dog rests, and every week though that this dog owner shows up with, his dogs always win. And one night, this guy stops him and says, "Hey, I've noticed that this dog tonight won the fight, but last week was resting and sleeping. But your other dog last week won the fight, and this week is resting and sleeping. How do your dogs always win?" And the dog owner says, "Because I feed one and I don't feed the other. I switch back and forth." So in other words, the dog that is winning was the dog that was not fed, and that's the dog's food is the fight, and the dog is hungry. And that's the dynamic of my bipolar, and maybe yours too. Sometimes my mania is hungry as fuck. Sometimes my mania is ready. There's a beautiful woman, let's go. There's a friend with some paraphernalia. Let's go. We can sneak into the movie theater. I know a back alley entrance. Let's go. And other times, the other dog is, let's get off the caffeine. Let's read more. Let's write more. Let's print out the screenplay and get people to do a table read. Right? I guess it's like the angel and the devil on your shoulders when it really comes down to it. And then in the middle is our sane internal argument. Should I spend all the money on new clothes and 20% on food, or should I spend enough to feed the whole month and then just one new t-shirt type decision, whatever is going on? The dynamic that's there on everything, regardless of bipolar. Should I take the medication or not? Should I sleep the same time every night and wake up the same time every morning or not? All of this, these dogs that are they're both hungry. They're both hungry. They're both hungry. My libido is so fucking hungry right now. 24/7, all day long. I have to constantly suppress and go, no, 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 no. I have a 17-year-old who needs food and starts school tomorrow, his last year of high school. I have a 9-year-old who starts school tomorrow, his third year of school. I have all these projects. I'm going to Swedish. I'm writing 2 books. Okay, a book and a screenplay. I'm reading a Swedish book, the Dare Van Frank in Swedish. Still reading it. Yes, I've had that book now for 4 years, and I'm still reading it. That's how hard that Swedish is. And I also have a book I'm reading about blood type and diet. A, B, O, AB. The 4 blood types. The plus or minuses, positive, negatives, they all file under the same category right now, according to the book I'm reading. So, what blood type are you? That determines what you should be eating. They say, oh, pasta will give you inflammation. That's, I think, according to this book, I think that's according to your blood type. I know that carbs, for me, I gain weight. I get off the carbs, I lose weight. Inflammation, I had a pizza last night. I don't feel inflamed, but I gained weight. So, but I love pizza, but not every day. But the dynamic, right? It's like moderation, I guess. I think moderation is a nice place to leave the dynamic of bipolar. Except for the medication, coffee could be in moderation. Working out could be in moderation. Oh, I feel down this week. I'm just gonna clock in, clock out, go home, lay on the couch. Cool. Every day is not going to be like that. Every day before wasn't like that. Feed the dogs. The thing is, though, with that analogy with the doggies, is if and when it will happen. Well, I mean, I don't know the future. It might not ever happen, but women are so beautiful. If that happens again, I am going to have to remember to the libido and the life, and I can't have the libido and the woman, the relationship, that dynamic overtake the life. I can't be like, oh, I'm with a woman and then get a phone call from my 17-year-old who is going to be 18 real soon. Maybe he'll be 18. Dad, I'm home. Where are you? I'm feeding a dog right now. What's up? Well, what's for dinner? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. I still got a mouth to feed. So, Yeah. Fuck, dynamic is tough. Dynamic is tough. You know, I wish it was as easy as take the pills and your problems are gone. Go to the gym, get on a treadmill, do your legs push pull, and then call it a day. Rinse, wash, wa- wash, rinse, repeat, and then voila. But it's not. I mean, I have done many things cold turkey in my life. Um, you know, 1 year for New Year resolutions. It was I think that's how I quit smoking the first time. So I did it the whole year. Okay, great. Now what? Oh, light it up after that 366 day. Light it up. Um, you know, it's yeah, moderation. I think with the dynamic because like you live once. You know, there's those people out there. You know, I've never had any alcohol. I've never had any drugs. I waited till my wedding day to have sex. And she passed away 10 years later, and I've never met anybody else. And those people, as quick as we are to judge them in that situation, at the same time, we're not in their mind. We're not in their heads. We're not in their being. We're not in their body. We're not in their soul. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how they feel. Maybe they really do feel amazing with those life decisions. Good for them. Um, yeah, moderation with whatever. I mean, your own discretion. You gotta figure it out for yourself. Uh, I'm going off of coffee. I I'm I'm pretty sure by the end of the year I'll be coffee free 100% because I am actually. It's weird. Like there'll be days where I'm rushed and I don't realize I hadn't had a cup till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then I go, oh, it's too late. If I have one now, I won't sleep. If I won't sleep, then I'll hallucinate. If I hallucinate, then I'll end up in the cuckoo's nest. Think I'm fucking Spider-Man. I got webs coming out of my wrists. Not cool. Not cool. So I think I will be coffee free, 100%. Will I ever be paraphernalia free? I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know because man, it's like when you go to like Bracco's Pizza in Chicago, and you sink your teeth into that fat deep dish with a beer, knowing that if you were just a little bit smoky, it would be even better. Kind of makes the sober normal feeling of that dynamic there. You're like, nah. So moderation, yeah, I don't know, I do want to get. I'm pretty sure I said last time or 2 times ago. I do want to get sober 100% to see what that feels like and go like a while. A while, of course, could be like 3 or 4 months before I'm just like, fuck it, light it up. But I do want that. I do want that. What is a sober Ryan to the rest of the world and to myself? Most importantly, it's my life. So, um, anyway, man, this was a long ramble. I think is because I kept thinking like, what the fuck, dynamic? Would you like to see examples of dynamic in a sentence or learn about how it is used in computer programming? See, it's the dynamic is everywhere. You know, it's technology and science, music. It's in music. So it's in relationships. It's mother, nature, father, time. Yeah, that's it. I've rambled and babbled. Thank you for. I really got to make these things shorter. Fuck. The dynamic of bipolar.